have such a bad rap? Why does a staff meeting, a department meeting, or a team meeting have such a bad rap? Because too many meetings are poorly organised, overly long, and rudderless. They simply drift this way and that according to the moods of a dominant personality in the room, or even a less dominant personality in the room. Morning Mel, good morning Susie, good morning Eugene. And be honest, are these your meetings? Really? Are your meetings like this? Do people dread having to go to a meeting in your business? Whether you're watching live or on replay, stay tuned today as I'm going to give you 7 tips to lead the most productive meetings you've ever had. Because remember, this is a key point, an effective meeting is it's a high energy event where team members are going to work together, be inspired together, and solve problems together, leaving to create actions. Good morning, John. Good morning, Scott. Robbo. How is everybody? Carol, I just saw you. Welcome to JTInTheRaw, where I chew the thin on business. And after 26 years being in business, I got a few thins that I can chew with you. And in all seriousness, JTInTheRaw is all about me just sharing some thoughts, some ideas, some actions with you to help you lead your business, lead your department, or even lead your team a little bit better. It's raw, it's authentic, and it's unedited. And today, we're going to think and we're going to do different around our meetings. Morning, Dean. By the way, I did a little bit of work between last JTInTheRaw and this one, and I worked out that if you can't watch all of these live, or you want to save this for someone else, just up in the top right-hand corner, or the right-hand corner, whatever, there are 3 dots. If you click on those dots, you can drop down and you can do save video. You can do save video. Good morning, Leanne. Good morning, Angus, over there in New Zealand. Grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, because geniuses write shit down, and today I'm going to give you some things to write down. A couple of shout outs to start with. I want to give a big first shout out to Chantel, the host of the Fitness Business Podcast, who is off tomorrow to IDEA, the big fitness conference in the US happening next weekend. I guess if you don't count New Zealand as international, this is her big first international speaking gig. So good luck, Chantel, for that. Give me a thumbs up if you also wish Chantel good luck in that event. I know she's going to nail it. She's got several presentations, not just one. I think she's doing 3 presentations and going to do a lot of networking over there. So good luck, Chantel, for that massive event and that great opportunity for you. She's also speaking on her birthday, so it's going to be a fun day for her, doing a presentation on her birthday. Second shout out goes to Tanya Hoswell, who is a member of my Anytime Fitness Industry Leaders Roundtable. I got a massive shout out to her. She's just sold a business and she's moving on to do some new cool things. And we had the last meeting with her this week. She's a great thinker. She's a deep thinker. She's a different thinker. She's a very valued member of our roundtable. I know everybody was very sad to see you go, Tanya, but I'd just like to say publicly how awesome it was having you on the round table. You're always welcome back. The way you think, the way you do things, the way you hold yourself is exceptional, and we will miss you. Good luck in your new endeavors. Gone but not forgotten, and always welcome back. Third shout out has to go to my little mate, Lockie Crichton, up there at Anytime Fitness, also in Queensland, who gave me this at the round table. This is a complimentary membership to Anytime Fitness clubs around Australia for the next 3 months. So I might be just working out in a few of those clubs to check them out, take some photos, share some insights. I was actually going to do the Raw today from an Anytime Fitness. But then I decided I best not, because I don't know the owner and he may not be impressed if I'm doing a show straight from his club. I'm actually coming to you live today from Fremantle in Western Australia. Yesterday I spoke at the annual PLA WA conference. So Western Australia is 2 hours behind Sydney. So Carol, Andrew, people who watch this show from Perth live, I'm incredibly grateful because normally I've had a workout by the time I'm talking to you guys. Instead, I've just got out of bed because it's 5:30. So I'm going to do this, then I'm going to go and have a workout. Today I'm going to be, yesterday I spoke on business trends and also marketing strategies for today's consumer. No silver bullet there, Robbo, you didn't miss anything. Morning, Marcelo. How are you down there in Tasmania? I hope you're doing well. Ryan, hope you had a wonderful birthday, mate. So today, I'm just going to give you a sneak peek in JTInTheRaw of what I'm speaking about, which is running meetings. And I'm going to share 7 tips to running meetings. 7 tips to running meetings. Preparation, the agenda, the meeting, post-meeting, spicing it up, no technology, and committed and consistent. I'll go through those 7 again, one by one, and give you a little bit more information as I talk through it. Morning, Brett. Hope you're on the train heading to work. Okay, let's first think about preparation. As I go through these, I want you to be thinking in your mind, what are my meetings like? What part of my meetings could I be missing? And I guess for a definition of meeting, it could be just even a one-on-one with someone, 1 on 3, 4, or could be 1 on a group of people. That's really up to you. Good morning, Matty Fletcher. Good morning, Tommy Hart over there in New Zealand. Great to have you watching all the way there in Christchurch. So let's go to the first one, and that is preparation. First of all, your meetings must be outcome-based. Outcome-based. Never start a meeting without having an outcome that is in mind. So is your meeting going to be educational? Is it operational? Is it a reporting meeting? Is it a strategic meeting? Is it a planning meeting? Be warned, it's very difficult to have multiple outcomes from the one meeting. It's too difficult on the people attending to change hats on what you're trying to achieve. You're better to have multiple meetings with one outcome per meeting. Have one focus, nail that focus, which means, of course, you need to be prepared. Good morning, my maximum sharer there, Susan. How are you down there in Victoria? Perhaps even give some pre-work in that preparation. Give some pre-work to people to come so that they read something, watch something, have to think about something beforehand. That gets them engaged in that meeting before the meeting even starts. Now, depending on how many people are coming to that meeting, your room setup is critical. You've got to have that room prepared. Everybody must see everybody. Everybody must be able to hear everybody. So a U-shape or even a boardroom-shaped table is very good, but never ever go down the road of a classroom table. Classroom set up with those rows and you see the back of people's heads. Everybody has to be able to see everybody. It might sound funny. It might sound funny, but only invite the people that need to be there. Only invite the people that need to be there. And ensure everything is in the meeting room before you start for what you need. Ensure you have everything of what you need in that meeting. You can lose a whole lot of momentum if people have to leave the meeting to get reports, to download information, whatever it may be. Ensure you have everything in that meeting to maintain the momentum. So that's the first of the tips, your preparation. Morning, Andrew. Morning, Suvlaki. Morning, Andrew Ward. How are you down there in Victoria? I hope you're doing good. Number 2 is your agenda. Well, firstly, you've got to have an agenda. In fact, if you take one thing from JTInTheRaw today, take this rule. No agenda, no meeting. No agenda. Actually, I'll rephrase that. No agenda 7 days prior, no meeting. No agenda 7 days prior, no meeting. Simple as that. Even if one of your staff say to you, oh, could I have a meeting with you? You say, sure, no worries. Shoot me the agenda and we'll sit down and we'll have a chat about it. Because I used to hate it when staff would walk up to me and go, oh, can we have a meeting? I go, yeah, sure, what about? I'll tell you when I get there. Well, how do I prepare? Have a rule. Build it into the DNA of your organisation. No meeting with no agenda 7 days prior. It's important that each item on your agenda has time allocated to it. Have time allocated to it and you stick to that time frame. Don't cram too much into the agenda because you'll piss people off if there are things on the agenda that you never get to. So if anything, have less on the agenda because you know things will happen and conversations will occur. And when putting together your agenda, again, this comes, I guess, around preparation. But when putting things together, remember people in your team or on your team have different learning styles. They have different strengths, different talents, but different learning styles. So create an agenda that encompasses multiple learning styles. You're going to be talking about things, you're going to show them things, and you might even have them try things in that meeting to help get that message through. If you just stand up and if you say lecture to the people to get through your agenda, people are going to tune out who are not auditory people but visual people or kinesthetic people. So have multiple ways of learning in that agenda. All right, so let's now move to the meeting itself. First one, start and finish on time. Start and finish on time. If you like this one, give me a love heart. If you start a meeting on time, that's incredibly respectful to your people. Now, what tends to happen is we say we'll start at 2 o'clock, but we let people come in at 2:05 or 7 minutes past 2 or even 8 minutes past 2. So then the meeting actually doesn't start till 2:10. Once the door is closed, no one can join the meeting. Be rest assured, people will only ever be late to the meeting once. But so long as you let people keep coming in later and later to your meeting, they realize they don't have to be on time. Conversely, you need to finish on time. If you say the meeting's going to finish at 5 to the hour, finish at 5 to the hour so that they can get to their next meeting or their next appointment or whatever it may be. Start and finish on time. That's your meeting. In show 82, I shared 10 different questions to launch your meetings. So the very first part of your meeting, to set a platform for the meeting, I shared 10 of those questions. If you didn't watch show 82, put 82 in the comments below and I'll send you the link. 82, and there are 10 questions in that show that is going to help you launch your meeting to have attention and engagement immediately. Thanks, Andrew Ward. I appreciate that feedback instantly. That's making me feel very special. Thank you. So if you missed that show, 82 in the comments and I'll send you the link. What I used to do in my club, I'd also share the roles around inside the meeting. So the meeting would have a different chair. I wouldn't chair the meetings. I would have other people chair the meetings. Hi, Katie Mitchell over there at the NAC Club in the US. Great to have you on this afternoon, evening at NAC, at Newtown Athletic Club. So I wanted to make my team members better at running meetings and better at doing things. So I'd have a different chairperson. I'd have a different person keeping eye of the time. I'd have a different person taking minutes. And I even had a different person being what I called a parking lot officer. And I'll come back and share that one with you. And then even at the end of the meeting, we had everybody go around the table and give feedback to the person that chaired the meeting, say whether they did a good job, a bad job, or how they could improve as a chair of the meeting. So that keeps everybody engaged. Every meeting, there's a different person running it, and they own the meeting rather than you as the business owner or the leader owning that meeting. Now, you'll notice I also mentioned there that you need to take minutes. There needs to be minutes with particular notes on what actions are decided upon and who is doing what and by when. There should be a list distributed at the end of the meeting of who is doing what and by when. Now, I mentioned parking lot. Create a parking lot. So you've got someone who's going to do this. This is where items arise during the meeting, and you could go off on a tangent and therefore lose the agenda. Take that information and put it in the parking lot. You'll come back to this. You're not forgetting it. You're coming back to it, but we're going to discuss it offline or we're going to add it to another meeting agenda. but we're not going to cover it in the meeting because we've got our agenda and this is what we need to cover to get everything done. Number 3 of the tips is your behavior. You see, what you do as the leader in the meeting will be simply mirrored by all of your team. You have to be 100% present. Hold yourself and therefore the rest of the team in the highest standards of conduct. So this means, no dodgy dad jokes. Matt Fletcher, no dodgy dad jokes. You can't pick on any team members during the meeting. No cynicism, no sarcasm, no bashing other departments, no bashing competitors, no bashing decisions. What you do, your team will mirror. So your behavior is critical to running a fully functional meeting. Okay, tip number 4, I think, 4. And that, 4. And that is post-meeting. You've got to keep track of the action items during the meeting, but then the action items post the meeting as well. You've got to make sure people do what they say they are going to do. Otherwise, it becomes frustrating when you get to the next meeting and you haven't held those people accountable or they didn't know they had to do certain things. When we get to that next meeting, we want boxes ticked, not crossed. We want people to show up who are committed, and they're committed from that last meeting, and we can see that the actions have been completed. So here's a tip. The person who is running the meeting should follow up before the meeting and hold those individuals accountable for their commitments. That's how we got to work this. I think most people get super frustrated, not just at the meetings, but then after the meetings, we come up with actions, but they're never completed or they're never followed through. And whose responsibility is that? Well, it's yours as the leader, or it's the chairperson of the meeting. We've got to make sure things happen. Okay, number 5, spice up your meeting. Spice up your meeting. It sounds like something the Spice Girls might sing about. Look, I've got 7 tips for you around spicing up your meeting, and I'm not going to go through them all here. All you need to do is put spice in the comments below, and I'm going to send you the list of 7 ways to change up the monotony of your meetings. 7 ways. So put spice in the comments below, SPICE, whether you're watching live or on replay, and I'm going to send you 7 ways to break up the monotony of just a standard meeting. Okay? I'll send that to you. Andrew Copeland, they'll be coming your way. Carol Richardson, they're coming your way. Spice, and I'll send it to you. Okay, number 6. Now, I got this idea. This is not my idea. Oh, Susan McGregor's cracked a mum joke. Spice, not Old Spice. Yes, not Old Spice at all. We won't be sharing that one. Okay, I got this one from Simon Sinek, and I like this one. No technology. No technology. So there are 2 points to this. First one is no phones, no devices, no computers 15 minutes prior to the meeting. That means people have to talk prior to the meeting. They have to connect. There has to be a conversation before they walk into the meeting. Their noses aren't in their emails. They're not texting. They're not Facebooking. They're not Snapchatting. They're not doing anything else. Phones are down, and we're now conversing, and we're now having connection and engagement between our team members. So first thing, no devices 15 minutes prior to the meeting. And when you come into the meeting, no devices. No devices at all. You hand write your notes. There is too much research that indicates it gets into your head better when you handwrite notes than when you type it directly into a computer. If you want to type it later. But at our meeting, we write notes. So why don't you give everybody on your team their team meeting handbook? And it's an exercise book where they record all their notes for all their meetings. There's a little tip for you. No technology. None before the meeting, none in the meeting. And the last of these 7 points. Thanks for sticking with me, Carol. Thanks for sticking with me, Andrew, Susan, Eugene, Helen, I think, is still there. The last one, there are 2 C's, committed and consistent. Once you draw the line in the sand today that your meetings are going to be better, you must be committed to these new formats and you must be consistent with these new formats, regardless of the meeting. There are no devices before. Regardless of the meeting, you're prepared. Regardless, you must be committed and you must be consistent in your meeting delivery, because that sends a message to the team that meetings are serious and they are important to the functionality of our business. So let me go through those 7 again for you. Those 7 again. Preparation, the agenda, the meeting, post-meeting, spicing up the meeting, no technology, and committed and consistent. So whether you're watching live or on replay, now I need you to engage with me. Now I need you to think. Put in the comments below 1 through to 7 on which one of these you think is the most relevant right now for you to make your meetings more effective, more productive, more profound, more powerful, or simply a place that your team are happy to be at. What do you need to work on? 1 through to 7. Is it being better prepared? A better agenda? An earlier agenda perhaps? Is it the meeting itself? Is it post the meeting? Is it following up? Is it spicing the meeting up? Is it having no technology? Is it committed and commitment and consistency in your meetings? What is it? Those 7 again. Give me them tell me in the comments below. Just put 1 through to 7. What do you got to work on? Preparation, the agenda, the meeting, post-meeting, spicing it up, the technology, that's no technology, committed and consistent. So Andrew's telling me post-meeting, the follow-through after the meeting, great one. Eugene, the tech king, is saying technology. Thanks, guys, for participating and putting those numbers in. I'm grateful for that. Of course, if you know anybody that you think could improve how they have meetings, I'd be super grateful that you either hit the share button and share it to your community, or just tag them in the comments below. Put that little @ symbol in their name and they can watch the show in their own time. Don't forget, you can also save the show by hitting the 3 little red dots up the top there on the drop-down box and watching it later as saved. Susan is saying no technology. Carol is also saying post-meeting, so that follow-up, making sure that we carry through with whatever we've made the decisions at the meeting and make sure that people do their commitments from the meeting. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate that. Look, I want you to just remember a couple of things. When you want to launch your meeting, you need a hook. You need a hook to launch the meeting. There has to be a theme through your meeting. Remember, it's an outcome-based meeting. So is it a reporting meeting? Is it an education meeting? Is it a strategic meeting? There has to be that theme through the meeting, and then a conclusion pulls it all together. It's like a movie. In fact, like movies, after the first few minutes of your meeting, your staff will know if they want to be there or if they don't. Your job is to make sure those first few minutes they want to be there. And unfortunately, a lot of meetings we attend are the opposite. They sap our energy, they're frustrating, and for many they're simply a waste of time, or not even relevant for those that are present. But not yours. Not yours anymore after today, right? Give me a love heart if after today your meetings are now going to be on fire. Give me a love heart right now if you're going to make a commitment to refining your meetings, to enhancing your meetings, to updating your meetings with some of these modern ways to be able to run more effective meetings. Hey, thanks for tuning in to JTInTheRaw show 101. I'm always grateful for having people on board. I hope you got some value out of today. Remember, if you missed show 82, where I shared 10 questions to ask right at the beginning of any meetings, put 82 in the comments below and I'll send you a link to that show. If you would like the 7 tips that I've got for spicing up your meetings, breaking up the monotony of how you run your meetings, put spice in the comments below, and I will send you those 7 little tips. And of course, I want to know which of the 7 tips you're going to work on so that I can help you, if need be. Put 1 through to 7 in the comments below. Next week, show 102 is going to be coming to you back from Sydney. I might be going to one of those anytime clubs and do the show from an anytime club. Who knows where I'm going to be, but I know that I am going to be coming to you live, as always, same bat place, same bat time. Looking forward to catching up with you then. So before I go, is quote of the week. And you know, after 101 shows, I love this part of it. And here it is. The difference between a bad and a great meeting is how well you are planned. The difference between a bad and a great meeting is how well you are planned. Hey, thanks for tuning in to JT in the Raw, show 101. Get planning with those meetings and start making them great. Hi, Alyssa, over there in New Zealand. Gotta go. Catch you guys on the flip side.